Hiding from you? Why do you think they would do that? She asked, putting her phone away with a sigh. I shrugged. Unless they owe you money, maybe they just have a good reason. She was not satisfied with my answer and walked inside. Spotting some fresh incense on the altar, she lit a few sticks, placed them in the burner, and closed her eyes to pray. Please, just let him appear, even if it is just a glimpse. She stood there for a long time before opening her eyes. When she turned, she caught me staring. Honestly, this old temple is not very good at granting wishes, I joked. She sighed, grabbed my arm, and whispered, let us go back. Seeing her so defeated, I kept quiet and let her drag me home. But before we even reached the front gate, I overheard my parents inside. Do you think that girl is our son's girlfriend? No way. She is obviously from a wealthy family. Half the gifts she brought us are covered in English. I can't even read them. Hearing the voices inside, Lin Zhaoe didn't walk in. Instead, she grabbed my arm, keeping me there to eavesdrop. But if those two really are together, our ancestors must be smiling down on us. Just wonder if she'll want the kids to take her last name. Hearing my parents talk like this made me want to vanish into thin air. Lin Aoxu, though, remained totally unfazed. But the way she looks at him, I can tell she definitely likes him. Startled, I turned to look at Lin Yaxu, but her eyes gave absolutely nothing away. I let out a couple of fake coughs to interrupt them. Keep talking, and who knows what rumors would start. Seeing me bring Lin Aoxu home, my parents rushed to welcome us with fresh fruit. Then Aoxu said, by the way, Uncle Chunze took me to see the village temple. I heard it was recently renovated. Did you do it, Uncle? Well, the village elected me as director, so I wanted to do something good for everyone. Besides, it wasn't just renovated, it's been almost half a year. Lin Aoxu nodded and fell silent. Right then, I knew I was completely busted. I had sent her photos of the old temple 3 days ago. The timeline didn't match up at all. Luckily, she didn't push it. That night, my parents set up rooms for us. While I was fast asleep, a knock woke me. I rubbed my eyes, opened the door, and there she was, Lin Aoxu, in her pajamas, standing at my door. Boss, knocking at your place is one thing, but we're at my house now. Aren't you worried about gossip? She didn't care. She walked straight in, sat down, and just stared at me in silence. Hey, boss, what are you doing? I'm exhausted. Let me sleep. I had no idea what was wrong with her tonight. Tomorrow, the whole village would be gossiping about her sneaking into my room. Then she said, I sent you a file. Accept it. Half asleep, I pulled out my phone and unlocked it. The next second, a video call flashed on the screen. Oblivious, I instinctively tapped accept. When Lin Aoxu's face appeared on my screen, I knew I was done for. I didn't know what to say, and I couldn't even look her in the eye. I just stared down, enduring her cold glare. Looking back, I realized I was just a clown. I had spent so much effort trying to hide my identity, only to end up with nothing. I sat in my empty apartment like a ghost, staring into space for hours. Finally, I went to wash my face. Staring at my slumped shoulders in the mirror, I slapped myself hard across the face. Chanzi, stop being a coward. If you like her, go get her. That was it. I cleaned myself up, bought a gift, and drove straight to her building. Aoxu, standing in the middle of a heart of lit candles, holding a bouquet. I shouted up at her balcony, just give me a chance. My voice echoed through the entire neighborhood, but there was only silence. Aoxu, even if you sentence me to death, let me make my final plea. I know I lied, but back then, I had no idea who you really were. I never expected the person I fell for would turn out to be my boss. The second the words left my mouth, a window upstairs creaked open. I looked up, but it wasn't Lin Zhaoe, it was a man in an apron. Keep going, he urged. I stared at him, completely speechless. The guy was actually munching on melon seeds. Because of our different worlds, I was afraid you would find out, afraid you would leave. Right then, a few more windows flew open, and neighbors poked their heads out, waiting to see what would happen. With so many eyes on me, I felt embarrassed, but backing down now meant losing everything. Never get another shot. I admit I lied. I was a coward, completely useless. But cooking in your kitchen, I realized I'd fallen for you. Watching you smile over my food, you have no idea how happy I felt. My speech actually won over the local women, who started scolding their own husbands. I don't care if you're my boss anymore, I just want a chance to prove my love, even if it means working for free. That line made the crowd burst out laughing. Some probably thought I was idiotically sweet. If you don't come down, I'm staying right here. With that, I braced myself, holding my bouquet, standing completely still. The crowd swelled by the second. Neighbors called neighbors, balcony gazers stepped down, and soon the entire courtyard was packed shoulder to shoulder as time slowly ticked by. After 30 minutes, the crowd grew restless. Some patted my shoulder, telling me to give up because she clearly wasn't coming. I looked up and screamed toward her window, screaming with everything I had. Do I really not stand a chance? The crowd went silent, staring at the empty entrance. Reality hit. As the last candle burned out, my hope died with it. Crushed, I hung my head and turned to leave. The crowd parted, showing faces of pity, disappointment, and smug amusement. Suddenly, a familiar voice cut through the quiet. What on earth are you doing here? I looked up, locking eyes with a stunned Linneaux. Spotting her loaded grocery cart, it hit me she was out shopping. My dramatic, tearful confession had been delivered to an empty apartment. I tossed the flowers and lunged, pulling her into a tight embrace. What are you doing? Let go. My arm still hurts. Watch the pressure. Just let me hold you, I mumbled.